Hey guys, welcome back. As you can see, the truck is not here. I'm having the check engine light looked at. I'm not exactly sure what it is. I've taken it to a local shop and they could not get into the system. And come to find out, FedEx puts a password protect on their computer, so that could be one of the reasons why the other shop couldn't get into it, but they're looking into it. So I dropped it off on Tuesday and I talked to them today, and it's in queue. I guess they're going to look at it tomorrow. So it's coming down to the wire. I'm supposed to be driving it on a trip. I'm supposed to leave here on the 18th, and with everything going on, I'm not exactly sure how it's going to pan out or if it's still going to happen. So, but while the truck is gone, I've got the oh, I didn't mention in the last video, I mentioned I had an appointment with the exhaust shop. And on the day of the appointment, the exhaust shop called and canceled. Too much work, not enough employees. I made an appointment with another shop, same thing. So I ended up doing it myself. It might not be pretty, but it's functional. So it'll do for now, it'll get the job done. But anyway, I want to move on to the next step. I've got all the wood cut for the bed. So I want to, while the truck is gone, I want to put a paint on the bottom side, and I'm gonna do a what they call, and I know I'm gonna screw the word up or mispronounce it, butcher the word. It's called shushugiban, and it's a Japanese technique for water treating wood. So I want to try that with this, just to give it a different look. I'm using Douglas fir. There's knots in it, there's cracks in it. It's not something I'm going to use to haul a bunch of stuff, so I just wanted to do something different. I'm going for the farm truck look, and I've got I'm going to use Thompson's water seal on the top of it, and then I've got the picket, I guess you call them sides, that'll go on at a later date. But anyway, I'll walk you through that. I do want to go over the exhaust stuff and show you what I'm using for mufflers and my favorite brand, and then I'll show you some numbers, and then the original muffler that was on it, how restrictive it was, and the exhaust manifold. But I want to burn the wood. I'll show you that procedure, and this is my first time doing it, so other people might do it a little bit different, but this will kind of give you an idea of how it's done. And then if it's something you want to do, there's other people on YouTube that are doing it as well. But anyway, let me take you along. I want to get this done real quick because it's getting darker earlier, and then I can move on to the next thing. But so let me get set up and we'll get that started. As I mentioned, it's just Douglas fir. I wanted to use Alaskan yellow cedar, but they were out of it at the time that I got this stuff. It's already cut. Everything's cut to fit. It's not in the order that I pulled it off the bed. I've got them numbered on the end here, and then here's some smaller pieces. So I'm gonna go get the flame or the propane torch, and then start burning it. You can kind of see how putting that one there is not burned yet, but you can kind of see how it turns the wood darker. As it sits for a few minutes, it gets darker even still. So yeah, I guess the trick after that is to wire brush it Some people even use sandpaper on it. I'm just going to use the wire brush on it and then throw some Thompson's water seal on it, and I'm going to paint the bottom side of it an oil-based paint, just to give it some protection from the elements going down the freeway, or just to give it some protection from the weather. So I'm not going to bore you with the whole thing, but that was just to kind of give you an idea. So I'll continue on the rest and show you when it's all done. Alright, I got the last one of them burned, so let me run you out there and show you what it's like. So here's one of the first couple ones that I burned. Some people use sandpaper as the next step. Some people use a coarse wire brush. I'm just using a fine wire brush. Just scuff it up a little bit. Takes off the burn from it. Try not to breathe the dust that it makes. It goes pretty quick. It's not on there very tough. Just leaves a nice finish. I'm going to hit it, as I mentioned, with Thompson's water seal. I'll probably wipe it down, maybe even use an air hose on it. But it just gives it so much character. And originally it didn't look like I was burning it that much, but I went and kept doing the other ones next to it, and then I looked back and these ones were darker. So, and then the knots, they didn't burn as much as the other one did, but it's just got a lot of character. So I'll run you around and show you some of the other stuff, but and then I noticed, like, on some of the, I guess it'd be grooves, or like here's a nut, for example. They didn't burn the nut. There's another one. It gives it lots of character. Probably shaking the camera too much, but so look at that one. Just character. So here's one of the shorter pieces. I already used the wire brush on that. So I'll paint the bottom side, but that'll turn out really nice. Get the grains of the wood there. Just super nice. Look at this one. There's a nice one. I'm using the transparent, like a clear coat, the water seal, so that'll turn out really nice. So anyway, and here's the shorter pieces. Just super nice. So, all right. Here's another one. Look at that. Just nice. All right. Let me get some of the exhaust stuff set up, and then I'll go over that for you. Let me show you the old stuff I pulled off the truck. So this one here, let's get out of the shadow here. This is, well, let me compare it to the first. This is a standard Dodge pickup. 3/4 ton, 1 ton, 5.9 Cummins, 24 valve. That's what you'll find on all the pickup trucks. So this one here, same engine, but the exhaust manifold is different. So one of the things you noticed, it's a 2-piece versus this is a 1-piece. And then something else, this one here dumps in the center. It's upside down. Let me see if I can turn it. This is how it sits on the engine. Center dump. This is the industrial or commercial, and this one is a, I guess to be more rearward dump, so it's upside down right now. This is the front, that is the front side, that is the rear side. When I started messing with the engine or the exhaust system on it, I noticed that this was a restrictive part of it. So let's see if I can do this, trying to do one-handed. This is exhaust port 6, this is 5, and this is 4. And if you look, 4 dumps into 5, and then it goes out the bottom. I'm not sure what engineer came up with that, but the engine is rated at 260. That, to me, would be super restrictive. Now, some people say it doesn't matter because it's turbocharged, but, you know, show me a graph that says it won't breathe easier when there's less restriction. It's like running a marathon when you're with your hand over your mouth. Yeah, it'll work, but it just seems like it'd be more efficient if it was freer flowing. So here's a better look at it. Port 5, port 4. Port 4 flows into port 5, and then it goes down the bottom. And you can kind of see on the bottom, you got the tiny ports there. That goes onto the turbo. The turbocharger is the same one that the pickup trucks use. I swapped out to the Borg Warner Cape 27 because I was going to make a tow rig out of it, and as I understand, it's the perfect lower turbo for a compound setup, and that's what I want to do in the future. But you can see how restrictive that is. It's just crazy. Why would an engineer do that kind of thing? So I did find a aftermarket exhaust manifold, and oddly enough the ports were bigger. I'd have to get a tape measure. I think these ones are 1 9/16, or it's either 1.5 inches, and the new one I found was 5/8 inches. So as well as each port flowing into the exhaust dump or the outlet as an individual runner, the ports themselves are larger too, so that's kind of a good thing. So, and then let me see if I can get into this is the original muffler that came on it, on the truck. It was bolted to the back of the cab. There is no brand name on it, but you can see, well, actually, I'm not sure if you can see in there or not. Let me shine a flashlight in there. I don't know if you'll be able to see that or not, but you can see it does not go through. It's very restrictive. It looks like a 5-inch diameter. And then I pulled this one off to put the flatbed onto it, and then I found another one off a parts truck I have, and this is typical of what they use. It's 3-inch diameter tubing to get to the muffler, and oddly enough it's also a Donaldson, and there is a part number there, so I can look that up and see what the flow is on it. So getting involved with the exhaust system, you can see that that was restrictive and that was restrictive, and then they used a small, well, it looks like it's a 4-inch on that one, on the very bottom of it. So let me show you what I replaced it with. My favorite on the exhaust stuff is Donaldson. They're not paying me to do advertisement for them or anything. That's just, I've used them for a long time in one of the exhaust shops that I go to and have known about since the I guess it'd be the 90s, have used the Donaldson on their truck stuff. I've got 4-inch here. Let me show you that. 4-inch resonator is what I was going to use on my crew cab conversion. So I wanted to show you that. And there's a part number. What I'm going to do is put the link for the catalog in the description so you guys can look at that. So what I ended up using on the Freightliner was the 5-inch resonator. So the body diameter is the same. The outlet and inlet is 5-inch diameter instead of 4. So the whole goal of doing the exhaust system was trying to keep it quiet, or trying to make it quieter. So This is the 4-inch that's commonly used on the Dodge pickups, and that's the 4-inch there, and as you can see, it goes straight through. Same thing with the resonator, it goes straight through, so there's not going to be any back pressure on that. What I did on the Freightliner is, here's one of the boxes. Let's see if I can get in there. That's the part number there. That's the 5-inch muffler, so that's what I used on that. So the objective of using the Donaldson 5-inch on the Freightliner, as I mentioned, one day I hope to use a compound turbo system on it. I don't know if you can hear the dog or not, but UPS just arrived. More goodies. So anyway, I've got 2 5-inch Donaldson mufflers, that part number there, and then I've got 1 5-inch resonator, which is that part number there. That's all I've got for right now. I appreciate you guys watching. If this is something you want to follow, hit that subscribe button. I'll keep posting the videos, and I'm hoping to make the trip. I don't know how that's going to pan out, whether the truck will be ready or not, but I plan on taking you along, and then I'll explain where we're going, what we're doing, and we'll just see what happens. So check back in a couple days, and I'll let you know. Oh, the next step, or the next project, I'll take the wire brush to the wood and then start putting the sealer on that. So if that was something that you were interested in doing, check back, and I'll post a video on that too. So anyway, appreciate you guys watching. Hit that subscribe button.